Ever get one of these? It's a City of LA parking violation, also known as a parking ticket. I got this one in June and paid it. But there are some who are saying that the city has parking ticket traps. We're going to talk about that. It's happened to just about all of us, getting caught in the complicated web of LA's public parking system. Here's my ticket. I can prove it. John Schwader reports on the city's minefield of ticket traps that snap shut, pick your pocket, and ruin your day.
Tears.
I don't even have anyone to call.
Outrage.
You're not allowed to park in front of your house?
No.
Oh, my God.
Inconvenience.
Ultimately, you're just going to have pay, and it sucks.
And just plain ticked off.
She got the ticket the exact same time for the exact same reason, and they overturned hers. And then 4 months later tell me that my ticket is still upheld.
They're singing the parking trap blues.
Is it clear that after an hour I can't come back and feed the meter?
Yes, it should say you may not put in coins or something like that.
So many changes in parking enforcement, it can feel as if everything is stacked against you.
This is suburbia and I still can't find a parking spot.
Parking pitfalls, ruining people's days, stinging their pocketbooks.
This thing will not take coins. Either you use your credit card or you cannot park here and you will get a ticket.
One of the biggest complaints we hear from motorists, the city doesn't fix its defective signs and parking meters until someone gets a ticket and complains. Even then, no guarantee you'll get out of that ticket.
If they're not being responsible in fixing them, then I don't think motorists should be penalized.
In the middle of an economic downturn, the city of LA increases the number of hours you have to feed these meters, the hours of tow-away and restricted parking, and, to add insult to injury, increases how much it costs to feed the meters and the fines for violating all of these rules.
I was trying to get a job.
The car she drove to a job interview, now missing in action, towed at 3 p.m.
I can't afford this. My rent's due.
People tell us they feel fenced in. Like residents on this leafy street, a 2-hour time limit without even the option of a preferential parking permit results in a Saturday free-for-all as car after car after car gets an unpleasant surprise.
$50 for parking in front of my house.
Free parking on Sundays, now a thing of the past. Plus, you pay longer at meters, till 8 and 9 p.m., and you pay more. Remember the good old days when a quarter got you an hour? Now you're looking at up to $4 for an hour.
Oh, they're definitely just traps and scams. I mean, it's just stealing money.
Ari Adams had parked in the same spot for months, just a few feet down from this barricade. But then one night, he got a ticket for $150 for parking in that same spot.
Instead of marking fire hydrant, they marked anti-gridlock on it.
Under the barricade, an out-of-commission fire hydrant and an unmarked curb. Ari fought the law, but the law won. This couple's been fighting for a year. They parked here nightly for 3 months. Both got a ticket on the same night.
I had to scratch my head and figure out what the infraction was.
So they took a hike under a freeway overpass where they found this sign.
The only sign that they had that was 150 feet away from where we parked was covered with stickers.
We had the exact same ticket. I was proactive and he wasn't. And his was upheld and they got his money.
Nicole Valenzuela now hikes in the dark nightly. She can't park in front of her own home, and she can't get a permit for her neighborhood because she's contesting her husband's ticket. And those who think that all you've got to do is keep feeding the beast, they learn the hard way that even if your meter's not expired, you could still get a ticket if you park over the allotted time. This woman's trip to a hair salon just cost her another $50.
Well, they did a good job.
That's besides the point.
We took all these complaints to DOT spokesman Bruce Gilman.
So no one has told you, the city council, the mayor, no one has given instructions to be extra sharp and aggressive about handing out tickets because the city needs the revenue.
We believe we've been a professional organization all along, enforcing the ordinances that are posted.
But we found this footnote in a city budget document that shows that the city is counting on its parking officers to hand out about 3 million citations this year. That will be about 50,000 more than they handed out last year. We asked DOT to at least concede it's a bad time to be hammering motorists with more rules and higher fines in this tough economy.
We checked around with other cities to see what was prevailing rates. We also looked at what the private sector is charging for off-street parking, and so there was a marriage of that information so that we would have competitive rates.
He says if people would only read the signs, all of them, wherever they may be,
so much less frustration would occur.
But this parking activist says it's all just weird science.
You're looking at the sign and you're saying, what shall I do? What shall I do? Maybe I'll just spend $10 and park in that lot.
Ari Adams says he has the perfect solution to avoiding parking pitfalls.
Take the bus. Take the bus. There's some weirdos there, but whatever.
Yeah, take the bus is probably a good option. All right, here he is, the man they call Mr. Traffic, Kenny Morse, and you can hear him on Sirius Radio. He's a guru when it comes to fighting these parking tickets. I showed you my parking ticket. I got it for, no park street clean, but there was like typical 5 signs on this post. I really didn't know that I couldn't park there and it was street cleaning time.
Well, as you saw in John's piece, there are many places where the signs are stacked up and you'd actually have to be a Rhodes Scholar in order to decipher it or be multilingual. But look, the fact is most people get their tickets because they don't read the signs properly. Mm-hmm. And this is what gets me very angry, is that there's so many people who are parking illegally on purpose, or they just don't put money in, or for whatever reason. But now on top of it, you have a lot of parking enforcement which is being done that doesn't need to be done.
Well, it looks like John said that they've got some goals that they've got to reach.
Absolutely.
Some financial goals that they have to reach, so they're pushing the parking ticket agents, whatever they call them, the officers, to hand out tickets and to be looking specifically for that. Is that something that we should be concerned about as citizens?
Well, there's no question that revenue enhancement is an important part of a city and state budget. Like I say, it should be done because you deserve it, and not because they're looking for people to nail. People ask me all the time as a traffic school teacher, is there a quota for the police officers? And they have to do the job that you and I pay them to do. But when it comes to parking, when these guys come back from a shift and all they have is a few meager tickets in the handheld computer, then their bosses get a little angry.
All right, can we fight the parking ticket? You could fight a traffic ticket and go to traffic school and take a class from you, but a parking ticket?
Sure, you can fight a parking ticket. There's a step process on this. You have to ask. And you have to ask in a timely manner within 21 days for the administrative review. So what you do is you read the parking ticket, and you'll see on the back, it tells you exactly what you need to do. Send in the information. And one of the best things that you can actually do to fight this, everyone now carries in their pocket, they actually have a cell phone that has a camera. And there's a great use for this camera, is that take a picture contemporaneously of what actually happened. If there is a sign, if it's mislabeled, if the meter has failed, whatever the reason is you feel you've been unfairly cited. Take a record. Even better, if you know how to use the video portion of this thing, take a video of yourself, and that can go a long way to convincing somebody that you actually have a case. It's very, very hard, and if you lose, there actually is a...
you can ask for another hearing or whatever.
You can actually have a hearing in front of somebody and try to do this yourself, and if all else fails, then you can go for the appeal. But you've got a better chance of the Pope naming you a saint than you winning one of these appeals, unfortunately.
Right.
The system's heavily rigged against you.
Kenny Morse, thanks very much.
You're
Christine,
welcome.
There is no hope. Very little anyway.
Well, I don't think that there's anything Mr. Traffic can do to help this guy. He is pulled over by Laguna Beach police on suspicion of drunk driving. Then he removes all suspicion. Captured on an officer's dash cam, the man's car starts rolling backwards, so he jumps in and hits the police car. Startled, he punches the gas pedal and crashes into the water and air pump at a gas station. And he busted a water line in the process. Yes, he was booked for DUI.
Wow. All right, it is still, believe it or not, way too close to call.